Hey everyone, this is Hedon, and my pet dog, and today we are excited to bring to you my Abattoir of Zir ready Infinimist Necromancer. I've cleared a tier 12 so far with this, so I'll be uploading the full gameplay of it after this video. So where do I begin? This build has over 20,000 life, it is armor capped, the attack power frequently shoots up to over 120,000 when all damage buffs are active, and if this wasn't enough, you're permanently immune for a majority of the run, as long as you have enough enemies around you to help reset Blood Mist. Let's get into how my previous Infinimist build has changed with the addition of the new Tears of Blood glyph. The skill tree and the Book of the Dead are exactly the same as in my previous Infinimist Necromancer video, so please refer to that one for the information if you need it. There's been a lot of talk around the Diablo 4 community recently about Prey on the Weak bugs. Some say that the damage is only additive, some say that it's multiplicative, but the damage is inconsistent, some say it just doesn't do anything at all, and some say that it works just fine. Just to be safe, we're swapping out Prey on the Weak for Undying. We are constantly casting skills, so you'll notice that when you take a hit, your health will shoot back up to full. This is especially important during the Abattoir of Zir, where you will run out of potions, and you need a way of reliably getting your health back up to full. Most of the gear is exactly the same as before, with two key exceptions. I was able to find a nice pair of boots that have dodge chance instead of ranks to corpse tendrils. This is very useful in Abattoir, since you essentially have permanent uptime on corpse tendril anyways, so you get extra dodge chance. I also have attacks reduce evades cooldown, which is very helpful in applying metamorphosis to both packs of enemies and the final bosses. And then the other change is my new amulet. I would like to have cooldown on it instead of damage reduction while fortified to have even more uptime on Blood Mist with fewer targets, but this new amulet is very nice for Abattoir because I keep my ranks to corpse tendril or corpse skills and gloom passive while also getting armor. This armor roll lets me get to somewhere between 14,000 and 15,000 armor while disobedience is up, which means I am armor capped. Okay, now this Paragon board is way better than my previous board. The damage is higher with the new Tears of Blood glyph, and this board now takes even more armor and life nodes while neglecting other lower value nodes that we took before, like damage to injured, damage to healthy. These nodes are still good, but we have to get rid of them because they are conditional damage modifiers, so they're not active all the time. You'll also notice, as I'm showing you the boards, that I no longer take every single intelligence node within the range of glyphs, because we need more points to maximize the Tears of Blood, and the travel distance to some of these nodes are just not worth the point investment. So this looks very much the same. Grab all this. This one's the only one that's maxed out. We still got the 70 intelligence. Making sure we take all of the resistance nodes. Then we come up to this board. Now you can see there's a big difference with this glyph. We have 40 out of 40 intelligence in range, so this is just enough to have the glyph active. So we're skipping out on a lot of these intelligence nodes that are kind of out here. You need to invest multiple points, whereas this is like 10 intelligence. It's only 2-point investment, not bad. Same with this, 10 intelligence, 2-point investment. So that's essentially 5 intelligence per point. That's perfect. So we're just going to come here, grab that, come up here. And then for the next board, this is where we are going to put the Tears of Blood in the Flesh Eater board. So we have that here, and then we have every single node taken in here, including we're keeping, of course, the damage to elites, we're keeping all the resistances. So this is what we have now. We're getting a lot of multiplicative damage. This is amazing. And then this looks the same. We go over here, path to Flesh Eater. I think this board is rotated around from the previous one because we're not picking up the damage to injured or healthy that's on this board. Then we're coming up here, because it's very close by, to grab the extra armor. Then this pretty much looks the same. Come up to this board, Scent of Death. This board looks pretty different. We have Darkness here, and we have 60 out of 40, so I think this is all the nodes. A little bit more efficient. We're coming up here, grab Scent of Death, and then we're coming around the left side because look, all these maximum life nodes here, great. Then we come up to this final board and we have just enough points to have this. Okay, for elixirs and incense. The best elixir to use is without question the Elixir of Combatant Fortune. Fortunately, I can't show you it here because I don't think you can craft it. You might only be able to get it as a drop. And I also used my last one. But this elixir gives you a massive 20 to 30% boost to your lucky hit chance. This means more corpses from hewed flesh, which in turn means more corpse explosions and more damage. This also means that your Abhorrent Decrepify will proc faster when you hit, which resets cooldowns faster. This means that you stay immune with Blood Mist even longer. Now for incense, you can have up to 3 separate incenses on you at one time, as long as they're different tiers. This means you can have a tier 1 incense, a tier 2 incense, and a tier 3 incense. The only tier 3 incense in the game is right here. Once you hit level 100, Chorus of War, you're definitely going to want to take that. And let's see the other ones. Redamine Buzz is a really great tier 2 incense. This is what I used in my tier 12 that I just completed, that I'll be uploading soon. So I used Chorus of War, Redamine Buzz, and then for the last one I used Sage's Whisper. It gives me a bit of extra intelligence. I'll briefly outline the playstyle since I neglected to mention that in my first video, but you'll see more of it in the actual gameplay that I'll post later today of the full tier 12 clear. When you first enter the dungeon, you want to use Decrepify to reset your evade cooldown, so you can safely advance to the first pack of mobs. Use this combination of Decrepify and evade to group up enemies, immediately hit Blood Mist, and circle over the center where you want the enemies to be pulled to. When you come out of Blood Mist, it should be immediately reset. If this is not true for you, then use Corpse Tendril and Corpse Explosion to get it back up. This is where you are at the most risk of dying. It's imperative that you only hit packs when you have enough to reset your cooldown of Blood Mist fully. I'm considering swapping out Reap for Blight for more damage, but I'll be losing quite a few skill points, so I'll have to play around with this a bit first. But you want to use Reap on occasion when you are in a safe area so you can keep up the damage reduction bonus that it provides. The best time to do this is if you're moving between packs and there's only a few enemies in your way that you can quickly hit. If you've played Diablo 3, then you might notice how the gameplay is reminiscent of a Greater Rift dungeon. A lot of the same rules for Greater Rift pushing also apply to the Abattoir. Don't waste time hitting one enemy when you can kite him to another pack of enemies. Hitting only a few enemies means that you can't reset Blood Mist as effectively, and you're getting minimal progression. Don't immediately take shrines when you see them, but also don't wait too long. If you see a shrine within the first 2/3 of the dungeon's progression, then chances are you're going to grab it within about 5 or 10 seconds of seeing it. Quickly run in front of the shrine, see if there are more enemies that you can pull, then hit the shrine. If you encounter a shrine close to the end of the dungeon, maybe in the last third or quarter of the progression, then you're going to want to save it for the 3 bosses at the end. The bosses are by far the most difficult part of the dungeon. The enemies have more health, and since there are only 3 of them, you can't keep up Blood Mist for 100% of the time. If you die during the dungeon, this will be the time when it happens. Unlike a lot of other builds, you don't want to kill one enemy at a time though. You want to attack all 3 of the bosses at once to increase your lucky hit procs to do the most damage. If you notice one of the bosses at the end, if you notice one of their health drop faster than the other 2, then instead of quickly killing that one off and finishing it, focus more on the other ones. Try to even their health down to the same amount. The more enemies up you have at once, the more damage overall. So you're going to want to balance their health as you're killing, and then kill them all. This will maximize your damage to ensure that they all drop before the timer ends. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that I inspired you to try this build out. If you have any questions, I would be more than happy to address them in the comments section. Like this video if you thought that it was helpful, or dislike the video if you think this build is trash. Consider subscribing if you want to stay up to date with Diablo related content. I've always had countless ideas just buzzing around in my head with seemingly no way to express it. This channel is my self-expression, and my videos are the fruits of my internal dialogue. I like to talk about a wide variety of topics, including video games, science, politics, music, and philosophy, but anything that generates an interesting and fruitful discussion is fair game. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.